My name's David Beard. I play offensive line for the Edmonton Eskimos. Thanks for having me. It's pretty special to make the trip out today. I'm still a student actually, so I think that kind of goes a little bit with the theme for extra credit. Still trying to finish up my kinesiology degree at the University of Alberta. I don't want to take too much of your time tonight for a few reasons. One, I really do respect your time. I don't want to soak it up too much, but another reason is I really want to get back to the snack table back there. It's phenomenal. You got a really good spread, and I'm telling you, it helps a lot in terms of getting on the field. So I'm not going to take too much of your time, but to tell you a little bit about myself, to start off, I am a stranger to you guys. I did actually grow up in Grant Cache, just down the road when I was a kid. That was late 90s, early 2000s. So it's not too far from home, but still definitely a stranger. I spent my middle school years going to a school in Olds, and then ended up transferring to Sherwood Park, going to a school called Bev Facey. And obviously this is a bit of an athletic twist to it. This is my side of the extra credit, but I hope you guys get a little bit out of it. There's a number of people in my life that have really shaped my journey, my story, and the success that I've experienced in my life. I do not take that for granted. It's pretty special to be able to play on a professional football field. As Jake knows, it's definitely a business, but it's very fun, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. But one of the first people I wanted to mention was a high school teacher of mine. She was a social studies teacher for grade 11 and 12, and her name was Karen Holt. I'm doubting that you guys would know who she is, but what makes her really special to me is that she displayed some pretty special characteristics about being unbelievably dedicated in the classroom, both to the class as a whole, but also to the individuals within it, but also dedicated to her family. To tell you a little more about myself, I'm also a ski instructor. I spent 4 years being a ski instructor in a local hill in Edmonton. And Karen's children, for a number of years, came for ski lessons. And I got to meet her husband and meet her children and teach them how to ski. And I got to see the love and care that she has for her children. And I think the most fascinating part about that is the same way that I was able to observe how she cared about her children was a similar way in how she cared about her students, and that was me. She did this in a number of ways, whether it be extra time tutoring in the classroom, whether it be in the mornings, at lunch hour, after school. My studies improved a lot, flourished in that time that I was a student from her social studies class. And it was it was a crucial time in terms of my academic growth. So she was willing to spend the extra time to give the extra credit to me, to invest in me as she would invest in her own family. So that was something that was really, really special that I really appreciate about Mrs. Holt. Another person in my life that is a teacher figure was one of my coaches at the University of Alberta. Whether you guys know or not, the University of Alberta football team has struggled greatly in the last few years. When I showed up at the University of Alberta, I came to a program that I thought was doing well. I came in and I wasn't much of a dreamer. I spent a lot of time throughout my school years. I had a lot of opportunities, but for whatever reason, the experience that I had was I was always at the bottom of the barrel because I was always transitioning, whether it be positions on the football field, whether it be classrooms or opportunities of all kinds. I always felt like I was at the bottom of the barrel, like I had to start fresh and learn a new set of skills, and I wasn't able to be the top dog or achieve that highest standard. And so in that period, I forgot about dreaming. I didn't bother thinking, oh well, maybe one day I'll become a law enforcement or go into law enforcement, or maybe one day I'll become a professional football player. I didn't bother dreaming about that, and it even got to the point where I know I'll probably not make my high school football team, or there's not a chance in the world I'm going to make my university football team. But there was somebody by the time I got to my university, my time at university, both playing football and going to school, I had a coach named Tim Princeton who saw more in me than I saw in myself. It was my third year at university, and this was along the same theme of being at the bottom of the barrel, feeling like it at least. And I got switched from D-line to O-line. So for those of you who don't know, numbers for weight-wise, it was a big transition. I was playing D-line at 240 pounds, and I got switched to play O-line, and I was undersized by anywhere between 40 to 60 pounds. So I was slim and trim, and I came from playing receiver before that. So it was a big transition. But yeah, I was so confused why my coaches wanted me to make this transition and believe that I would be able to make it successfully. So that was one of the many, many experiences that I felt like, man, I'm back to square one again. I don't have another set of skills that I need to be successful in what I'm doing. But what I appreciated from my coach, Tim, is that he spent the time finding out who I was to discover the assets that I had outside of just the assets that I had at the moment. He could see what I was able to develop in the future. And so that recognition was so important to me in terms of developing as an athlete and going into academics. I personally, I can say school's not my favorite, but yet I'm trying to finish up my kines degree at the very moment. So I'm in 3 classes right now, going on my 4th by correspondence because I'm at the end of my degree, and courses are only offered during certain semesters, and they have prerequisites. So it's definitely jumping through some hoops to try and finish it. But what I'm trying to say is the transition that I've made and have made into the CFL has been due to the people who've invested in me and have spent the extra time, be it my coach Tim, who's recognized the potential in me, and even looking at my teacher from high school, my social studies teacher, Mrs. Holt, who wanted to spend the extra time to give me the resources that I needed, or the extra boost that I needed to accomplish the goals that I had. But part of the reason I wanted to come here today, after I heard from Liam that it was a good invite, that I wanted to give a big thank you out to the teachers in my life, specifically those that I mentioned, because there's this quote that my dad posted on the wall in my bedroom when I was a kid. I was in high school about the time that I was in this social studies class, and it said, "If a man does not know what harbor he seeks, then any wind is the right wind." And that was something that I was able to appreciate most about the teachers and authoritative figures in my life. That was just uncanny timing for my father, who posted that in my bedroom. But this was an opportunity for me to say thank you and to share just a few of the many teachers and figures in my life that have influenced me and bring me to where I am today. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that that was noted, and that you guys have a good night tonight. So.